States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Here.
Mr. Franco.
I'm here.
Mr. Cabrera.
I am here. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, the notice requirements have been satisfied as to the time, place, and date of holding said meeting by posting notice on the bulletin board here in Borough Hall and by mailing and emailing same to the Herald of Cape May County, the Gazette Leader, and the Press of Atlantic City on December 7th, 2022. Quick note, all residential sewer ratepayers can obtain information on the low-income house water assistance program from the NJDCA website. A couple quick announcements. This meeting is being shown live here today on the Facebook and the borough's YouTube channel. In the event you want to ask a question or make a comment, there's a dial-in conference line, and that number is on the agenda as 888-363-4734. And when prompted, you're going to enter the access code 969-9020. If you watch the recorded version of this meeting, you can email our clerk at clerk@wildwoodcrest.org or phone her at 609-729-8040. In the event of an emergency, your emergency exit is the way you came in, your back right, our front left, our front right, or your front left. Madam Clerk, may we have the ordinances, please?
Yes, sir. The first is 1406 regarding hotel, motel, multifamily dwelling.
Motion that ordinance number 1406 be placed on second reading and final passage by title only.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded that ordinance number 1406 be placed on second and final reading by title only.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Ordinance 1406 reads as follows. An ordinance of the Borough of Wildwood Crest amending Section 85, Article 11, Hotel, Motel, and Multifamily Zone, Section 85-57, Permitted Uses of the Borough of Wildwood Crest Land Development Ordinance.
Motion that a public hearing now be held on ordinance number 1406.
I'll second that.
It has been moved and seconded that a public hearing on ordinance number 1406 now be held.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes. Floor is open for public comments on ordinance number 1406. We'll start with anybody here in the audience. Hearing none, we'll move to the conference line. Does there anybody have any public comments that is on the conference line? Hearing none?
Motion that a public hearing on ordinance number 1406 now be closed.
I'll second that.
It has been moved and seconded that the public hearing on ordinance number 1406 now be closed.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Motion that ordinance number 1406 be passed on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded that ordinance number 1406 be passed on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next, we have ordinance 1407 regarding dumpsters.
Motion that ordinance number 1407 be placed on second reading and final passage by title only.
I'll second that.
It has been moved and seconded that ordinance number 1407 be placed on second and final reading by title only.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Ordinance 1407 reads as follows. An ordinance of the Borough of Wildwood Crest amending and supplementing Article 1 of Chapter 37 Garbage, Rubbish, Solid Waste Management of the Code of the Borough of Wildwood Crest, regulating the enclosing of community receptacles, dumpsters, and containers.
Motion that a public hearing now be held on ordinance number 1407.
Second that motion?
It has been moved and seconded that a public hearing on ordinance number 1407 now be held.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes. Floor is open for public comment on ordinance number 1407. Anybody in the audience? Hearing none, we'll move to the conference line. Anybody have public comments on ordinance number 1407? Hearing none?
Motion that a public hearing on ordinance number 1407 now be closed.
Second that?
It has been moved and seconded that the public hearing on ordinance number 1407 now be closed.
Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Motion that ordinance number 1407 be passed on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that ordinance number 1407 be passed on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Roll call, Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next, we have ordinance 1408 regarding lead-based paint.
Motion that ordinance number 1408 be placed on second reading and final passage by title only.
Second that?
It has been moved and seconded that ordinance number 1408 be placed on second and final reading by title only.
Roll call, Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Ordinance 1408 reads as follows. An ordinance of the Borough of Wildwood Crest amending and supplementing the Code of the Borough of Wildwood Crest regarding the requirement for inspection of lead-based paint in certain residential dwellings.
Motion that a public hearing now be held on ordinance number 1408.
Second it?
Been moved and seconded that a public hearing on ordinance number 1408 now be held.
Roll call, Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes, floor is open. Public comment on ordinance number 1408. Hearing none, we'll move to the conference line. Public comment, ordinance number 1408. Hearing none.
Motion that public hearing on ordinance number 1408 now be closed.
Once again, second?
It has been moved and seconded that the public hearing on ordinance number 1408 now be closed.
Roll call, Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Motion that ordinance number 1408 be passed on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded that ordinance number 1408 be passed on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Roll call, Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Right, next, we have the resolutions. The first is authorizing approval of change order number 2, final, and accepting work performed, and authorizing release of performance bond, and accepting maintenance bond for renovations of the old library, fiscal year 2019, NJDCA Small Cities Program, decreasing the contract amount by $18,015.80 for a revised contract amount of $1,904,359.57.
Motion?
I will second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
All right, just a quick question or comment, I should say. So the total contract, this is for the Crest Arts Pavilion, correct?
Correct.
And it's coming in under budget by 18,000, is that correct? Right?
Yes.
Congratulations,
Yes,
Mr. de
that's
Blasio and everybody involved. And Connie, you were instrumental in making that happen. Thank you. Yes.
Very good. It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted, and you guys all adopted it. Very good. We do need to pull number 2, so we're going to the next one. Authorizing advertisement of a request for proposal, notice to bidders for authorized on-site inspections and plan review agencies for the following subcodes: plumbing and electrical for 1-year contract with 2 one-year options.
I'll motion that.
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing award of contract to Deal Electric, Inc. for Seaview Avenue intersection improvements at the not-to-exceed sum of $647,607.92.
I'll motion.
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is authorizing the adoption of the fixed asset policy.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Next is waiving the marriage officiant ceremony fee for Melanie Reinhardt wedding ceremony on September 15th, 2023.
Motion.
Second. Congratulations.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes, and just before I forget on this, the answer is yes. Can we consider an ordinance change on that? Because I think when we get those requests, I think Mr. Franco and myself are the ones that can do the officiating on behalf of the borough.
That's
I
correct.
think that was put in place years ago where the officiants would get paid. I am not interested in being paid.
Okay.
And I don't
Same
know,
thing, yeah.
yeah. So I'd like to we'll do whatever we need to do to waive that fee.
We still need to have the borough fee of the $50, but we'll go ahead and make some change.
I'll
The state
trust,
requires one fee.
Right.
It's minimal.
okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good. And that was a yes, right, Mr. Cabrera?
Yes, I try to talk them out of it, but they keep asking, but it's all good.
Lastly is authorizing change order number 1, Beach Patrol Headquarters renovations rebid to reflect additional demolition, additional helical piles, revised foundation design, and various masonry infills.
I'll motion that.
I will second.
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes.
Thanks, George.
Sure. Can I get a motion for the bills?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
excuse
okay.
me. Motion that all bills properly authorized as submitted be paid. Just reading something else.
No worries.
I'll give you a second.
It has been moved and seconded that all bills properly authorized as submitted be paid. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes. Okay, under correspondence, none officially listed, but, so today is, 2 days after Labor Day, and I hope everybody had a Labor Day weekend, but I did receive many emails and comments on social media. So on behalf of the borough, I'd like to thank all of the department heads, all the staff that made a successful summer. It was safe, it was clean, it was everything you wanted to be in a local resort community and a vacation destination resort. So thank you to everybody involved, and thanks to all the residents and vacationers for the support in all of our programs and being open-minded to all the things that we're doing as we sit up on the dais. So I want to express that on behalf of the governing body.
Can I second that?
You should.
That's nice, thank you.
Yep. Okay, so that brings us to our first round of public comments. Again, we just need your name. No need to give your address if you have any public comments, and if you could, I would like to ask everyone to address your comments to the governing body. At the last meeting, I want to make sure that we had some kind of roundtable and discussion going on, so I want to keep it a little more organized this time around, where everybody directs their comments here to the governing body, and then if necessary, and we need to direct a question or a comment to to a department head, we'll do that on their behalf. Okay, public comments, first round. Anybody here in the audience? Come on up to the podium.
Hi, my name is Maria Murphy. I am just just asking you, on Atlanta Avenue, beach block, at the end, all of the pavilions that have been done, they look beautiful. I was wondering if anybody could just look into the small pavilion that was put on Atlanta. I realize that the dunes, it's like one of the only beach blocks where the dunes were built like directly in front, but everybody has, the large pavilions that you had built. We're having a problem like with the drainage because it is so close to the curb. It's literally not much more than the width of a sidewalk. So when everybody is rinsing off, we have a stagnant puddle that is like right outside of the beach house, the coastal colored beach house. I was just wondering if there was anything that maybe could be done, or if they could take a look at it after this season, so that
Sure.
maybe like next season it could
We
be a better
absolutely will.
drainage.
We absolutely will. So Mr. de Blasio, Mr. Shear, could you guys powwow on that and take a look at that together perhaps and see what we could do, whether it be this year or in time for next year? Right.
Thank you, and you did a great job this summer. It was wonderful.
Thank you for your comments. Appreciate it. Anybody else? Public comments? Anybody on the conference line have public comments? Okay, we're going to move on to the discussion items. Under new business, we have none listed. Under old business, I'll quickly breeze through these, potentially amending Borough Hall hours. I believe that's on hold until there is an internal staff meeting, and we're waiting for the recommendation to the governing body to come out of that meeting, formal recommendation. Crest Pier capital planning for generators. I believe we have Concord Engineering working with Mr. de Blasio's office on a couple different scenarios, so as soon as we narrow in on those, we'll have a better opportunity which grant opportunity we're going to go after. Okay. Traffic calming. So right before the meeting, I know I received a packet from Mr. de Blasio on some ideas and suggestions on traffic calming. I don't believe anybody's had a chance to review that, so I'd like to ask everyone to take the time to review that. Ask questions to Mr. de Blasio, or perhaps we can have him do a recommendation or at least a presentation at the next meeting, but just give everybody time to digest this and move forward, and then perhaps public safety and you guys can get together and discuss it through. Does that sound like a plan?
Thank you.
Code enforcement. I believe we were moving in that direction, but nothing yet on that. Okay. Back Bay Beach excavation is on hold, pending the Army Corps dune. Dredging, any reports on that?
No updates since our last meeting.
Okay. New Jersey Avenue infrastructure pre-county, I know Mr. de Blasio's office is working on that. Public Works roof. That's in design stage, correct?
Correct, that's being combined with the Crest pier roofs with the co-op.
Okay.
So that's all processed with Butch.
All right. Baseline outfalls, so we have, that's tracking, we're basically getting ready to file for a permit? Or getting
Yes.
closer to moving person on a permit? Okay, got it. Arts Pavilion exterior, nothing formal, I believe the county commissioners meeting is coming up this month. They will be looking to formally approve our award. I believe our award is $1,043,000. If my memory serves me well. Yeah. 1,043,000. I'm pretty good. I'm autistic, so I can remember numbers. Washington Seaview Beach Falls at outfall capacity. Anything on that? Yeah.
So that report was completed, and that is with Mr. Rotella, who is using that report for the basis to go and actually get the big, what I call the big money, to actually effectuate the recommendations.
All right. Landscaping and lighting in the business district, so I believe we'll probably be hitting on that in the next administrator's report. To the county is moving closer to firming up their plans for the reconstruction of New Jersey Avenue along with the borough. The borough has the infrastructure underneath it. And at the same time, the 6 blocks, the planning board recommended from Heather to Columbine, the revitalized business district is all part of that. It's all part of that planning. And then there's some short-term things that we're doing in the meantime with some landscaping and some planters and so forth. And we started some of it this year. Unfortunately, the planters didn't come in time, so we'll hope to have them for next year, next summer. Lightning detection system, anything there?
Yeah, we're just gonna wait and see what we can do for the following season.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, last round of public comments. Same rules as the last time. We'll start with anybody here in the audience. Hearing none, we're going to move to the conference line. Anybody have any public comments? Hearing none, we have a closed session resolution on the agenda.
Yep, so we have authorizing executive closed in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, specifically NJSA 10:4-12B, with regard to one issue, the Policies and Procedures Manual.
A motion?
Second, Trish?
It has been moved and seconded that the foregoing resolution be adopted. Roll call. Mr. Schiff.
Yes.
Mr. Franco.
Yes.
Mr. Cabrera.
Yes. Okay, everybody, so this means that we're going to go into closed session. So unfortunately, I know you're having a great time today, but I'm going to have to